Oaklanders and people beyond Oakland even have been waiting very patiently to hear what the mayor would say after the FBI raided her home. At first, she was radio silent, but today she spoke, and she was defiant, even emotional in her claims of innocence. But people didn't even get long to process what she had to say before the next big twist in this story. Katie Nielsen has more on why the mayor's lawyer dropped her as a client.
Tony Brass became Mayor Thao's attorney last Friday, the day after FBI agents were seen searching her home and carrying out what appeared to be boxes of documents. But after a press conference today, Brass says he called the mayor to say, "I quit."
I have not been charged with the crime, and I am confident that I will not be charged with the crime because I am innocent.
This is only part of a heated and at times emotional press conference where Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao blasted the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI.
I did not know there was going to be a press conference.
Tony Brass is a former federal prosecutor and is now a defense attorney specializing in these types of cases. But after her remarks, he says it became clear he could not represent the mayor.
It appears to me that her messaging was inconsistent with the way I intended to manage this case. I asked to withdraw as her counsel today.
Brass declined to comment on the specific messages in the mayor's press conference that concerned him, but she did imply the FBI search of her home could have been politically motivated.
The timing of all this is troubling, and we should all be concerned. I want to know why. The day following the qualification of a recall election, funded by some of the richest people in the Bay Area, seemed like the right day to execute a warrant.
She went on to claim it was her lack of political connections that allowed her to be a target of an investigation.
This wouldn't have gone down the way it did if I was rich, if I had gone to elite private schools, or if I had come from money.
Within hours of those remarks, Brass said he quit.
People come to me for a certain type of approach to a case, and this is not consistent with that. So this is her approach, and we'll see how that turns out.
The mayor did issue a statement about the change in counsel, saying, "Over the weekend, I obtained new legal counsel and thanked Mr. Brass for his counsel. I will share the name of my new counsel once agreements are finalized."
We asked Brass about the mayor's statement. He said he couldn't get a hold of anyone with the mayor's office or even the mayor herself over the weekend. The first time he talked with them was today.
All right, Katie, thank you. Tonight, it's important to remember the mayor's house was not the only place that the FBI searched in Oakland that same day. Agents also raided a home on Viewcrest Court that is linked to Andy Dwang. He's a member of the family that owns Callaway Solutions and has become a regular face in local, state, and even national politics. We also saw FBI and IRS agents taking boxes from Callaway Solutions offices along the city's waterfront. That company did release a statement to us last week saying they're confident investigators will find nothing wrong or unlawful. But we have reached out to the Dwang family multiple times since then, and we still have not heard back. At the same time, federal authorities are still not saying anything at all and haven't told us what they are investigating or who is being targeted. Security analyst Jeff Harp, who spent years in the FBI, told us this tonight.
The search warrant doesn't target the person. It targets the location where the FBI feels there may be evidence that's tied to the crime.
Mayor Thao says she has questions for the U.S. attorney overseeing the investigation, including why she was not given the opportunity to cooperate, in her words. Her questions are directed at Ismail J. Ramsey. He is the U.S. attorney for the Northern District of California. Ramsey is a Biden appointee who was confirmed by the Senate last March. Before that, the Air Force vet was a partner at a Berkeley law firm. He once worked as an assistant U.S. attorney at the office he now runs. Jeff Harp told us the FBI takes political implications seriously and often does offer to cooperate, but not always with a search warrant.
No, the FBI, no. That makes zero sense, because if you're going to serve a search warrant, you don't give somebody the heads up that you're coming.